Welcome back to Hinamizawa.
Holy shit, we're back in it. How are y'all doing?
I'm doing good.
You doing good? I'm doing good. Hey, so quick status update here. In between, after folks let us know about it, we have downloaded 07th mod, and we'll be using it for the remainder of this playthrough.
Although we will be sticking with Ryukishi sprites.
Yes, we're going to be sticking with the original settings presentation as much as possible. The benefit of this for us is mostly the fact that we now get to hear as close an approximation to the original sound design as we're going to get. Is how it was described. That said, we're still going with old sprites. We're going with old backgrounds. We are going to miss out on the CGs because of that, but I would still prefer to play it this way.
Yeah.
Second update. Wow. A lot of people really like listening to us talk about the game for 3.5 hours for one. One thing that didn't actually make it into that video, which I know is surprising, right? Is that I did have a kind of overall theory about what ties the victims together.
What's your theory?
Here's the thing is that, like, because we were talking about this, most of it was after we'd finished recording, but, like, up until leading up to it, I was also, like, I was just frustrated that I was having a hard time figuring out what tied the victims together. Because the causality doesn't really make sense. Like, if you assume that the girls themselves are the cause, then, I don't know, that just requires a whole lot of other... It doesn't feel right? Because then you have to believe that there's something about the group of girls themselves that causes their loved ones around them to be victims of this curse. And then how does Tomitake fit into that?
Maybe they give off some sort of deadly miasma.
Maybe you're right. Maybe that's it. So, but I was also having trouble figuring out, like, there's not a whole lot in the game to kind of go off of just yet in Chapter 1. So I asked myself a different question. Okay, I don't know enough to make a good theory about this based on the evidence. What would it turn out to be if I was the one in charge of writing it? What would I make the twist? And using that idea as my base, the theory I came up with was that the victims of the curse are the original conspirators behind the dam site incident.
Interesting. Also
known as the self-described Onagafuchi Defense League. And the twist here is not just that they're the original conspirators, but that they made a Faustian bargain with the Sonozaki family in order to make that original murder charge disappear. So the bargain here is that the way this goes is that they approach the Sonozaki's family with a lot of local power and obviously an interest in this, given Mion's ongoing altercations with the foreman. And they're like, yeah, we can make this go away. However, you all are going to have to die in order to help sell this. So then those conspirators become the victims over the ensuing years. I really liked this idea because it helped really put one thing in particular into place that was bothering me, which was Oishi's grandmother's story about the Oni of Onagafuchi. Because that whole story about, like, how the Oni are able to, like, cure the villagers, but they'll eat you and they'll eat the person that brings them there in repayment, didn't really map well onto the town of Hinamizawa itself. That whole story narratively maps a whole lot better if you imagine the Oni as the Sonozakis.
Interesting.
Right. So it's the villagers going to them with their problem, and they're being like, and then the Oni, who are the Sonozaki family, being like, yeah, we can solve this problem for you. We're going to eat you in repayment, essentially.
Do they literally eat people?
I am not going so far as to say they literally eat people. The metaphor is still a thing that can happen.
Do you think Mion has eaten a guy?
Probably, but for unrelated reasons. This does also explain a couple of other things that have kind of been, like, teetering on the edge of my awareness here. For one, it would explain why the curse seems to end the year after Keiichi dies in the last one, because that would be when they run out of victims, and also that something happens the year after that primes the police to go back and reinvestigate the stuff in Keiichi's case, right? And after the last one's died, there's no one left to kill. They're not going to kill innocent people for this, so it's like, okay, well, I guess there's no more point in keeping up the charade past that point. Either they've successfully convinced people of the curse, or they haven't, and they have no cards left to play. It also kind of helps reframe the causality between what links the girls themselves together. It's not that the girls themselves are the source of this maliciousness, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that they come together because their parents are the made that agreement, and their parents or their parents and loved one and guardians slowly dying off like that kind of brings them together because they don't have family anymore. It also kind of explains the actions of the victims leading up to their deaths and how they feel about things. Like the Hojos tried to get out of town and that didn't work for them. Mr. Furude seemed very stressed and anxious leading up to it. Didn't really change anything. It also explains the weird poignant subtext in that conversation Mion was having with Tomatake on the evening of the Watanagashi.
Does Mion know he's going to die?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Where it seemed very clear that Tomatake knew in some way that he wasn't going to be back. It also explains why Tomatake knows so much about the case and why he's so talkative to Keiichi about it. Because, he's about to die. So he's like, might as well. No reason keeping this, to myself if I'm going to die. I'm not going to ruin the whole thing, but I can help. I can share some stuff with this kid, I suppose. And it also lets me call my shot for who the members of the ODL are, the Onagabuchi Defense League. That would be Mr. Hojo, the first victim, Mr. Furude, the second victim, Sadako Step-aunt, name unknown, Tomatake, the original Dam Site Conspirator, who we don't know. We don't. You made a big deal about if we know their position last time we talked about this.
I promised you, and this is 100% serious and in no way a deception, that I literally got hung up and swapped the foreman with the other thing, and I thought you were making a mistake. I thought that the foreman was the one who committed the murders, and that the one who was murdered was like a company manager for the thing.
Gotcha, I see.
And so I was trying to subtly steer you to check and correct yourself when in fact I was wrong. So that's why that conversation was so weird. I promised you there is literally nothing in any way, shape, or form to look into here. Mm-hmm. And I would not say that if there was something to look into here.
I do appreciate the clarity on that.
I just really want to be clear on the fact that I am not fucking with you. I just fucked up and
Okay. I appreciate the forthrightness. But anyway, the members of the ODL would be Mr. Hojo, Mr. Furude, Sadako Step-aunt, Tomatake, the original Dam Site Conspirator, whom I don't know that we know who it is. I've got some ideas, but I'm kind of hedging my bets for now. And the mayor of Hinamizawa, Mr. Kimiyoshi, who will be the victim in the next year. Or maybe, I don't know how set in stone it is. It could be that Kimiyoshi could also have died instead of Tomatake, but Tomatake seemed very aware of the fact that he was going to be dying. And it also seems like there's a lot of staging and pageantry that has to go along in order to sell this. Mm-hmm. Each death as part of a curse, so I don't unless some shit kid comes up and won't stop asking questions and you have to change plans at the last minute. You really don't want to be doing this curse shit by the seat of your pants. And it also explains why all of the people who have died so far seem to have different feelings about the dam, because the original inciting incident doesn't necessarily have to be about the dam at all. Right, because remember that it could be centered around those ongoing altercations between Mion and the foreman. It could just be that, regardless of how they felt about the dam, that what was going on with the foreman there was wrong, regardless of anything else. And that explains kind of the weird disparity between them in terms of, how they felt about... because the Hojos were for it, but obviously Mr. Furude would have reason to stand against it.
Yeah, what's a priest without a temple and
exactly.
so on and so forth.
Yeah. So that that is something else that I've been thinking about after we recorded our long discussion video, but like still something that's going on in the back of my mind. Like this, when I lay it all out like that, it sounds plausible. The problem with it is that it's not really based on anything. It kind of like the theory itself is kind of justified after itself. You know what I mean? So it's not like I came up with it based on explaining a thing in the story. It's I came up with it and it happens to explain things in the story, which is less logically sound, I suppose. Anyway, I'm done talking at you with it. Like, don't you all love looking at this start screen right here? Wouldn't you like us to play this game for a little bit?
Yeah.
And talk about it? I know I would. Maybe we'll finally get to deal with the other major spoiler that I happen to know so I can stop talking around it.
Yeah, we'll see. It could happen at any time, or it could happen at the end of Chapter 8. We never know.
We never know. It's so annoying. Watanagashi, the most possibilities. The Cotton Drifting chapter. How was your taste of life in Hinamizawa? A curse or a conspiracy? I believe you have fully enjoyed everything and everyone seeming suspicious. Here at last, it is no surprise attack, but a real, direct incident. Please enjoy it. The difficulty is lower than Onikakushi, but extremely vicious. Interesting. No surprise attack, but a real direct incident. All right. Now, I will have my book of notes out here. I'm not going to be like taking a lot of longhand notes this time, other than just stuff to direct my thoughts later, because I don't want to like keep pausing every so often. But I do have my whole notebook of information to reference here, of my notes and thoughts, and then collated details from the first arc. So hopefully I'll be able to cite chapter and verse if something happens here. Let's do this. Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too. I will not quench your thirst, for you seek the truth and could not accept that. I will not quench your thirst, for the truth you desire does not exist. But I still want to quench your thirst, for I am the one who cast you into the desert. Depicting him as a real... Oh, it's the same one. Depicting him as a real good guy is really important. This is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual persons or organizations is entirely coincidental. 1983 AD. Early summer of the 58th year of the Showa era. Higurashi when they cry. Wow, that was so cool. I'm glad I didn't watch any of it.
Yeah. I wonder what was in there.
No way to know. Anyway. Wow, the UI even looks like slightly different. Yeah, this is going to take some getting used to. The chirping of birds served as my alarm clock. All right. Oh, that doesn't... Oh, my God. I have to use the buttons for this? All right. Goodbye, Gauntlet.
Does it not have a way to mouse click?
No, the mouse... it does, but the mouse click doesn't... Let's see. Huh? Oh, hey! This didn't work when we tried it last time. Wasn't today Sunday? Wasn't it basically my style to stay up late on Saturday and sleep through the morning on Sunday? Why was I waking up at this disgustingly wholesome hour? Back to sleep, back to sleep.
Keiichi, are you awake? You have a phone call.
At that moment, the sound of my mother calling me from downstairs finally registered. Phone call. I sprang up out of bed abruptly and stampeded noisily down the stairs.
He's awake. I'll put him on right now.
My mother informed the person on the other end of the line. Oh, hey, it's the living room. Hello? It's me. Who might this be?
Ha 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 ha. Morning, Keiichi-kun. You're such a sleepyhead. Such a sleepyhead.
Is this Rena?
I don't know.
Oh,
it
Rena.
is Rena. I thought it was going to be Mion.
What's up? She's repeating herself.
She's repeating
Calling
herself.
so early in the morning.
I don't think it's so early. It's the middle of the day, you know?
I also love, like, no indication of what's been going, of anything. Just like, oh, hey, Rena, you're alive. Everything's fine and normal. It was 11 o'clock. I guess you could loosely consider that the middle of the day. So, what's up?
Hold on a second. I'll put Mii-chan on now. Ohayo, Kei-chan. If I were to say it in English, that'd be good morning.
While we're at it, why don't you try saying it in Chinese, German, Russian as well?
Ni hao, Kei-chan. Guten Morgen, Kei-chan. Russian. Das Vidanya. How the hell should I know?
Wow, so Mion just happens to know at least basic greetings in a lot of languages. Well, whatever. This stupid conversation has woken me up for sure.
That's good to hear. So, Kei-chan, you free right now? If you're good, then we've got everybody.
Everyone? Did she mean all the club members?
That's right. You might be thinking, every day always ends in heated competition, but at least I can spend my day off peacefully. You're too naive, Kei-chan.
Yeah. The aim of our club is to find the best solution for every situation. In other words, we don't care if it's the weekend.
Oh, it looks like Kei-chan has come to understand our club. So, how about it? Can you come?
I had absolutely nothing planned that day. If I were to refuse Club President Mion's invitation, what other fun ways to pass the time would I have? It's not like I planned on doing anything, and, well, if I said no, you'd probably just declare me the loser by default and force a penalty game on me anyways.
If you understand that much, then you can't refuse, right? If you're okay with it, then meet at the usual place at 1 o'clock. We're going into town, so bring your bike, okay?
Ugh. Club activities in town? Well, we could do them anywhere. Besides, since it was a new venue, there was no way this wasn't going to be intense. I'm holding a pretty big grudge from that narrow loss a couple days ago. I'll say it right now, I am not going to lose. A couple of days ago was Friday's club activities. That uncompromising poker match. I don't think that's how jokers work, Rika. It was a fight to the death. Nobody held back. No one could tell who was in the lead or who was in last until all the points were tallied. In the end, I won only by 1 chip. Mion came in second.
Damn it. To think if I hadn't squandered that 1 chip.
Mion lamented thus, perhaps more so than the fact that she lost the match. Mion doesn't lose. That's why Mion only whined when she let the champion's throne slip through her fingers. That's why she was more frustrated than anyone over a close loss. So did she mean for today to be a grudge match? Bring it on! Just like last time, I'll shut you down and make you play that penalty game. Make sure you play in a way that you won't regret it when you lose.
Wouldn't have it any other way. It'll make it all the more better when I crush you.
After that, we exchanged jeers for a bit before hanging up the phone.
We're about to see each other in like 15 minutes anyway, but that doesn't mean we can't spend a while taunting each other.
And just kind of like, yeah, and at each other,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. As I headed back upstairs hastily to get the key to my bike, I bumped into my mother. She was carrying a futon down.
Oh, Keiichi, you seem like you're in a good mood. Heading out?
Yeah. Hey, quick question. What day is it?
A day. In summer.
It's 1983 still.
Yeah.
Right? So that's still the year of... that's still the... Where's my timeline? I have it right here.
It'll be Watanagashi soon.
Is it going to be... So that's the name of the chapter, is Watanagashi, right? The cotton drifting chapter. So... Either this takes place after the first... Well, like, it would seem to take place after it, but, like, is the Watanagashi coming... You know what? I'm just going to bask in the temporal confusion for a bit and just kind of let things happen, if that's cool with you.
Fair enough.
Something like that. All right. I'm going into town to play with everyone.
Take care. Watch out for traffic. Be back before dinner.
Yeah. I'll be back by then. Don't you worry. After unlocking the chain from my bike in the garage, I reveled a bit in the resistance of the slightly stiff pedal gave as I pushed on it. All right. Let's go! I set off on my bike, cutting through the refreshing morning air.
Keiichi-kun, you're late.
Oh, sorry to keep you two waiting. Oh, where's Sadako and Rika-chan?
Rather than meeting up with them here, it's a lot quicker to just meet up in town.
Because the temple's not on the way, but the okay. Makes sense. Oh, I see. If I remember correctly, Sadako and Rika-chan's houses were on the other side past the school. Sadako and Rika-chan's houses. Okay, that's interesting. I'm sorry to get hung up on such a weird detail, but like I had been given the narration up to this point, I've been assuming that the two of them lived at the temple. It's interesting to finally hear Sadako and Rika-chan referencing homes.
Houses, plural. They're real estate investors. They have several.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. It's just something to consider, because obviously this isn't the same status quo as we just had.
Unless it is.
Unless it is. Something is amiss, and it's up to us to figure out
Whoops.
what. You're right there?
I bonked the mic a little.
Okay. Well, yeah, what's up with doing club activities in town? Can't be that everyone's going to put on masks and rob banks all day, is it?
I wouldn't mind doing that. Even then, I wouldn't lose to you. You see, Mi-chan always tells me the routes and schedules of the armored bank cars. I wonder why.
Armored bank cars. Could that be, like... Is that a weird explanation for the unmarked white van that we keep seeing? An armored bank car?
That wouldn't seem to be... would seem to be an armored bank car, not an unmarked white van.
If you're about to get hit by one, they might look the same. But either way, it's cute banter here. What? I spun around with a serious look on my face and looked at Mion. Well, it certainly seemed possible Mion was capable of doing that. Seriously, Mion?
Rena, what are you saying? Sorry, Mi-chan. Sorry.
The two of them joked around. That bright laughter was the best match for a beautiful day like today. Hey, you two. Sadako and Rika-chan were waiting for us, aren't they? Let's stop fooling around and get going. Round and around, fooling about like two fluttering butterflies. I earnestly wished I could just keep watching them like this, but the five of us together would be absolutely more fun.
That's right. Well then, let's go. The goal is to plunder 1 billion. Once we split the loot, everybody scram.
Yeah! The hell is happening?
Bank robbery arc.
Bank robbery arc. The three of us on our bikes headed over the gently sloping hill towards town.
Did you forget we both have criminal records?
No, Rika's... Or no, not Rika's. Rena's didn't go on her record, remember? They never...
Exactly. I'm that good.
Yeah, only Mion has a criminal record as far as we know. Rena is assumed to have done that, but the school denies it and no one presses charges. So, as far as the law is concerned, Rena does not have a criminal record.
Technically, not illegal is the best kind of not illegal.
Yes, it is. That's highly worrisome. Thank you. Accelerating hard, we crested the hill. Hoorah! Right. It's going to take me a while to not hit the space bar instead of the... All right. Okay, so they are going into Okonomiya. That's what I was like, these backgrounds don't seem familiar, but then you're like, yeah, we're back in Okonomiya. Right.
New areas.
So when they went into town, they literally rode the hour bike ride into town. Got it. The view expanded as Okonomiya Station came into sight. I occasionally come to the station here. Considering the amount of effort it takes to get here, though, it was quite a hassle. Sometimes I like to stand in front of the train station looking listless as the cicadas cry all around me. Eventually, someone will drive up in a car and stand an awkward distance away from me and just stare, rather than saying anything for about a minute and a half. It's pretty awkward. I'm glad you find that funny. That's why I didn't know much about the area around the station, or Okonomiya itself, for that matter. Okay, so Keiichi's being like, I don't know much about the city here. The street we were headed down today was, of course, unfamiliar to me as well. Going through the railway crossing, we headed past the south end of the station. Wow, this is the first time I've been this way.
Around here, there's lots of things like arcades and toy stores. Michan knows a lot about it.
So there's an arcade, is there? I used to go to one pretty often. My gamer's blood roils within me.
Always going to an arcade? Kei-chan, you're quite the delinquent. Next time we're here, I'll show you where it is.
Are you still allowed to be strapped when we're in it? You know what? Never mind.
Who's gonna tell me no?
Great question.
Anyway, it's a good one. There are quite a few machines.
It seemed like the town of Okanomiya was Mion's stomping grounds. If I asked her, she could tell me a lot of things about it. Eventually, we came across a store with quite a few bikes packed in front of it. Was it the arcade? Oh, look at the gotcha machines! No, it was a smaller shop. Oh, this is like a hobby shop? Looking at the window display, it seemed like your everyday toy shop. But for almost 10 kids to be filing in and out of the store, they were doing almost too well for themselves. Could it be? Is that store having some sort of event today?
Exactly. Top prize is 50,000 yen.
50,000? What the heck is that? That's the GNP of the People's Republic of Keiichi 5 times over. Okay, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
2 cute figures messing about the front of the store noticed us and waved their hands. Cute figures, huh? Hey! Wait, have we seen Rika in that dress before?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Hey, Rika, new outfit. Let's quickly see the updated sprite. Ah, that's the menu, not the settings. Oh, I have to go into there to get to settings now. Okay. Let's see, character sprites. Oh, well none of them are. I'm just not gonna change it. We'll look at it. We can look them up later.
Hello, everyone. Everyone's favorite gremlin is back. We've been waiting for you.
Good morning.
Hey! Morning, Rika-chan. Sadako, we'll settle this before the cops get here. The goal is to plunder 1 billion.
Huh? Keiichi-san, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Are we late? Did we keep you two waiting? We finished early today, so we've been waiting a while. I'm sorry about that. Kei-chan here was taking his sweet time.
I'm still stuck on who's Sadako living with. It's not her uncle.
Well, if it was Keiichi's fault, it couldn't be helped.
Ouch. Saying that, Rika-chan stretched up and began patting Mion's head. Hey, wait a minute. Are you solving everything by making me the bad guy? That's really funny, isn't it? Because, especially given the epigraph under Frederica Berncastle's name in the very beginning. I don't know if this ever made it into a video. I kind of alluded to it really quickly in the intro, but it's the apparently nonsense characters under her name do say, like, depicting him as a real bad guy is important to you, or something like that, or something to that effect. So yeah, you can't solve everything by making Keiichi the bad guy. Which, I want to point out, I haven't. That was not at all my solution for the first chapter. So, I feel like I'm doing okay.
Of course. Who else but Keiichi-san could fill this important role?
Oh, that's been so long. I don't like being cast like that. If you think that this'll solve everything, you're sorely mistaken. I was feeling slightly irritated, so I began repeatedly smack Sadako on the head. You're not Sadako.
You're right, I'm not.
I just have to hit myself in the head. Ow.
Oh, Keiichi-san hit me. Ah.
It's such a shame that Keiichi's bullying you. Sadako's crying. She's crying. I'm taking her home. Your big sis here will take care of the bad guy, okay?
Wham! Rena ecstatically wiped the tears, which were probably fake, from Sadako's face, while Rika-chan gently patted mine as I lay sprawled on the ground. Yes, this is fine. What was that whole training arc for if we couldn't dodge her punches? Ugh. Yup, this is the way things are supposed to be solved.
Although, I think we should find a new punchline before you start losing teeth. Or at least, get you a mouth guard, because,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So,
I know. And if you can't avoid it, might as well prepare for the worst, right? Well then, upsy daisy. In any case, the greeting for today went well. So glad everyone is normal and alive. Inside the toy shop, there were about 10 boys around the same age as me. Apparently, they all knew Mion, and finding out that she had arrived, they greeted her with jeers a few at a time. Jeers? Okay, so not... I guess there is a context in which that could be considered positive, but it doesn't seem like they know her, and it doesn't seem like that's a good thing for her.
Are those anachronistic N64 controllers fuzzily
Those
in
are
the background?
anachronistic N64 controllers! Holy shit! Oh, man! Oh, that's so cool. I love anachronistic N64 controllers. They're my favorite. Oh, man. I was trying to see if I could recognize anything else, what those boxes on top of the CRTs are, but no, not offhand. It's kind of like a Pikachu-sized smear there, but I don't know.
Mi-chan is a regular at this toy shop. So she has a lot of friends.
A regular at a toy shop? What's up with that? Well, we know why. She's a gaming hobbyist. You said in the last arc that you've been into her. No, I don't think Keiichi saw her collection.
Mm-hmm.
But her collection is known.
Hey, Keiichi-san, take a look back here.
Following Sadako's prompting, I took a look where there were chairs lined up at tables, almost like some sort of birthday party. I realized it immediately. Friday Night Magic. It couldn't be. This is the venue for today's club activities.
Surprised, Kei-chan? I'm good friends with the owner here. He sometimes lets me hold game tournaments to expand his customer base.
Expand his customer base. I see. Meaning all the boys livening up the place were participants? Oh. I wonder if the club good friends with the owner here. Is that one of her family? No, she would have said uncle or something, but because we know we have some outstanding Mion family members who own businesses we don't know the nature of.
That's right. Normally it's just us 5, but today we're going to play with lots and lots of people.
Rena was innocently happy about being able to play with so many people, but my expression grew noticeably stern.
Keiichi-san, I know exactly what you're thinking.
Oh? Well, then why don't you try saying it, huh? Together, all right? 1, 2...
These are all enemies.
Sadako's voice and mine blended together in harmony. I don't think I could do both of those things at the same time.
Yeah, that would be really hard.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
No, we're not doing that. We're not making my voice do that. We looked over the participants. After all, the top prize was 50,000 yen. What game are they playing, though? My eyes lit up like a flame.
Hey, Kei-chan, it looks like today will be fun.
Well, no matter how many more rivals I have, the goal remains the same.
Rivals? Kei-chan, do you think a whale keeps track of all the krill it eats?
She said that in such an unpleasant voice, laughing with the aggressive glint in her eyes reserved solely for club activities. Damn it, Mion, she's as serious as she can get today.
I'm not the only one who's serious. Take a look at Rika-chan.
Mion pointed, looking at where her finger directed me. What the heck was that? Rika-chan was using those kinds of traits to soften up the group with an almost excessive pleasantness.
I'm also going to do my best. Go for it. Yay!
Oh, is this when we start getting the knee pause? Go for it!
it.
Yay! Completely emasculated, the group joined Rika-chan in a cheer. The inside of the store had been consumed by the world of Rika-chan.
Her reality marble.
Oh, God. She's got reality warping powers, huh? Is that what this is? I say that in the sense that, the kind of magnetic personality that kind of bends people around, so they can't help but kind of move by you. Damn it, she's already chomping at the bit.
Seems like today's going to be fun.
Is this the Renner Punch music?
I'm going to do my best. Ah.
It seemed that Renna was also unusually fired up by the large crowd. Hopping about and running around, she had entered entirely into Keiichi mode. In Renna's case, the real fun starts when her tension gauge fills up. Her happy-go-lucky attitude belied the fact that this was the state in which she was almost the most threatening. Mion was making small talk with some of the regular customers what she was acquainted with. It was like business as usual with her. Of course, if anybody thought that Mion looked ordinary, they were not qualified to be in our club. The shadow beneath her feet was exuding killer instinct, rising up like a chill wind. Damn it, Mion, throwing away her honor and humanity like that. Oh, she's serious. Throwing away her honor and humanity, huh?
Keiichi-san, didn't you know? The 50,000 yen prize is from Mion-san's own pockets.
What? She was putting out the 50,000 yen all by herself? At that moment, a dark miasma that warped Mion's surroundings began to appear.
What is it, Kei-chan? Is there something on my face?
What the fuck is happening? Why are we getting threatening inverted color, Mion? A shiver crept up my spine. That Mion, cornering herself like that. She was pulling out the demon lurking within her. Well, you know what? Fine by me. Damn it, my knees are shaking like crazy.
Gotta put something on the line, or else it's just fun and games.
Well, or else what's the point, right? Before I realized it, the store had filled up with even more people. However, the looks in their eyes weren't confrontational. They were looks of expectation and curiosity. They were the eyes of onlookers who were wondering what kind of match was going to occur and who was going to win. You couldn't ask for a better stage than this. This is going to get interesting.
Keiichi-kun, let's do our best, okay? Do our best.
Renna was already fully charged. Moral laws and common sense held no power before the might of Renna in her Keiichi mode. I definitely didn't want to fight her if possible.
Rika-chan, do your best. We're all cheering you on. Okay, I'll do my best.
You can throw in some Nipas if you want
Nipa.
to. There we go. just feel free, you're all right? Rika-chan, who was exuding way too much charm, no matter how you looked at it, had already won over most of the onlookers to her side. Nonchalantly avoiding things had always been Rika-chan's creed, but for her to be blatantly laying out her machinations like this, something was definitely strange. Like Renna, she was someone who I didn't want to fight if I could help it. Is that a new pose? Fucking whole, like, smarmy arms crossed Sadako.
Yeah.
I love this.
Of course, the one you don't want to fight the most is Neon-san.
Ugh. Been lucky to even leave alive more than a few times at the end of club activities, but I don't think there was a day that even came close to being this dangerous.
Yeah, Wednesday's Russian roulette day was a bit much.
How did she lose and still walk away? Oh shit, that's what happened to Satoshi. Satoshi just straight up lost at Russian roulette one day, and they're like, maybe we shouldn't make this part of the regular game schedule, huh?
Keep it for special occasions.
Neon-san seems to have developed quite the grudge after losing that poker match a few days back, you know?
It seems that way. In other words, today is just an elaborate stage for her revenge. Almost as though she were psychic, Mion turned towards us. Her eyes silently conveyed the message.
You guys just figured that out now.
It wasn't just Mion. Both Renna and Rika-chan were more pumped up than they'd ever been. Yeah, one's gonna pop up today. Without a doubt, there'll be casualties. RO7 does this a lot, and I really love it. There's like very thinly veiled doublespeak that only makes sense when it's playing on the audience's expectations.
Yep.
Like for the characters in the universe, it's just perfectly, like we're just being grandiose, but it playing specifically on what the audience is uncomfortable with and expecting is just... I love it. It's good writing. Write that down in your copybooks now.
It seems that somehow Keiichi-san and I are the only ones left. What do you think? Should we not have our match during the opening round?
Well, we might as well. I need to warm up before I can really kick it into gear. My spinal column shuddered like it had been struck by a bolt of lightning, and a pillar of ice was being jammed into it. It began to freeze. I could almost see the flames backlighting Sadako with their intensity. Even then, while Sadako was displaying a normal smile, it was cold and inhuman, almost as if it were a plastic mask.
You must really want to eliminate me in the opening round. You can't hide that murderous intent.
Oh shit. It looked like she was... You must really want to eliminate me in the opening round, huh? You can't hide that murderous intent of yours.
Oh, well, that's too bad. You are being uncharacteristically cautious today, Keiichi-san.
Without a doubt, it was a trap. Without a doubt, it was... We all know how I feel about this phrase by now, right? I've made my position on this very clear. I don't know what she had up her sleeve, but if I fought with Sadako during the opening round, my loss would be more certain than if I went against Mion. A pitch-black miasma permeated the inside of the store. Did they all want to win that 50,000 yen prize that much? No, that's not right. The only ones competing for the prize money were the casual participants. I was different. I had mistaken this as just a way to fool around on a normal Sunday. It didn't matter when it was or where it was or who our opponents were. In our club, the goal is always the very top of the mountain. An intense flame that no strong winds could extinguish, hot enough to melt any steel, began to burn inside of me. The fuse had been lit on this unprecedentedly intense club battle. It was then that the owner of the store told Mion in a lackadaisical voice that it was about time to begin.
Is everybody ready? Listen close now.
Mion began with the formalities, standing in for the owner, and explained the rules of today's tournament.
You're only playing to win. There is no second or third place.
That's the same rule as our club. There were 15 people participating. We were to split up into 5 groups via draw, and each group would have one winner. Each winner of the first stage would advance to the next in order to compete in the final.
Now, as for how each group will compete...
In what? God damn. So it's a game that could be played with 5 or 3 people. Okay.
Each table can decide to play whatever they want.
Oh!
As long as the game is here in the shop, anything goes.
Fascinating. Okay. Already in club mode, DEFCON 1. I didn't let the small gap in the rules go unnoticed. Mion, can I ask a question, please? Won't everyone push to play a game they're good at and not be able to agree on which one?
That's right. If we can't decide, we can't start.
The spectators also nodded along. It was only natural. There wasn't anyone who would simply cede to their opponent's suggestion.
I'd prefer if you were all good sports and managed to come to a decision on your own, but if it comes to a stalemate, should we have the store's owner decide for you?
It was an event at a toy store, after all. You'd expect the owner to referee. After that, Mion's rundown continued. It ended with the rule that any losing participants would have to buy the game they lost at. A rather nice proposition for the store. Oh, so like that's your entry fee. Okay, yeah. Anyway, today's game is Warhammer 40K. It's technically something that was around during the 80s, so. First, we used a draw to split into 5 groups. Everyone lined up single file and began to draw tickets that the shop owner had prepared. It was my turn. All right, it's time to draw. No matter who I was up against, I'd crush them. At that moment, Mion began to laugh with a hawkish gleam in her eye.
Of course, I'm sure you already know, but club members will have a separate penalty game than the casual participants.
I thought as much. What's the gist?
The winner gets to give the losers 1 order each.
Contrary to how simple it sounded, it was a terrifying eventuality, the subject of which no one could predict. Damn you, Mion. Was she really planning on parading me around Hinamizawa in cat ears and a banana hammock with a tail attached or something? So, Did that not happen in this one? The look on Mion's face told me she wasn't going to let me off that easily. On top of that, this time it wasn't just the person who finished last who'd have to submit the penalty game. The losers get 1 order each. In other words, even if you don't finish last, you still have to do a penalty game.
That'd be the case.
What about if there's no winner? Like if all the club members drop out midway through?
Kei-chan, are you all right in the head?
What? The look on Mion's eye became that of a lion baring its fangs.
How exactly are the elite members of our club going to lose to some mewling newborns? Kei-chan, don't embarrass me by getting eliminated in the first round.
Even so, I didn't feel threatened. The more into it my opponent was, the stronger I would become. You just wait and see. I won't just sit here and be bullied by you, Mion. I'll show you.
We shall meet in the finals.
Unless we get the same pool, in which case. The results of the draw were enough to make you cry, conspiracy. Oh, there are 5 tables of 3, not 3 tables. I got it. All the members of the club were nicely divvied up amongst the 5 tables. How did this happen when the draw was that random, huh? Thought I was already caught in Mion's puppet strings, made me feel uneasy. That was fine, though. I'll crush all your petty tricks. Now, where were my opponents? Everyone's headed to the table corresponding to the number on their ticket. The competition at my table was these 2, huh? They look younger than me. Also, they don't get sprites. Huh? Hey, aren't you 2 classmates of mine?
Oh, hi, I'm Tomita.
Tomita.
This is Okamura.
And Okamura. Okay, so 2 new faces in Hinamizawa here. Those are ones that we haven't heard before. Okamura-kun greeted me by nodding his head. So my opening round was to be against my juniors from school. Just saying, but it seemed like a pretty easy matchup. Lucky. Time to destroy them without mercy. Alright then, everyone. Please decide on your...
All right then, everybody. Please decide on your games and start.
With Mion's declaration, the inside of the store suddenly became lively. Everyone was yelling their favorite games at one another, trying to gain an advantage before they started. Even my 2 classmates, who seemed taciturn at first glance, began to fiercely insist on their own games as soon as the signal was given. Of course, I would kick those suggestions aside. There's absolutely no reason to pick a game your opponent was good at. Sorry, they're all games I don't know. Would you pick something a little more well-known? Oh, that's them disagreeing. Okay. Of course, they didn't agree to the games that I suggested either. I could only smirk bitterly. Naturally, after 5 minutes, this table still couldn't agree on a game. Obeying the rules, we asked the store owner to decide on a game. Clearing his throat, the shop owner brought over a board game from the back of the store. It was a game called Billionaire. Quite the vintage we have here. Come to think of it, if you lose, you have to buy this game, right? Damn shop owner, he was using his competition to get rid of all the games he couldn't sell? I know this one. You guys do too, right? Spin the wheel, head to the goal. Whoever has the most money after we liquidate our assets is the winner. The 2 nodded in agreement. And finally, the game was underway! At that time, I already had a feeling of impending crisis. I wouldn't realize why until the game progressed a bit. Because Monopoly takes for fucking ever to play. And it wasn't even designed to be a fun game to play. We all know this already.
But it's not Monopoly.
Oh, it's life.
It's life.
It's life. 1, 2, 3, 4. Celebrate the birth of your child. Receive 5,000 from everyone. Sorry. Okay. I built quite a bit of a lead.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bonus. Receive 100,000 from the bank.
What? The tables were turned in an instant.
1, 2, 3. Proceed to the corporate ladder course.
Whoa, that's a good route. It seemed like only my piece was landing on the steady spaces. I had doubts as to why Mion didn't bring out board games for club activities, but that reason was laid bare to me before my eyes. Well, that's right. I'd only realized it now. This game was completely based on luck. What could I possibly do to make sure I ended up in first place at the end? The ultimate outcome of this game was decided in a place beyond human hands. How are the other club members doing? My eyes naturally wandered off to the other tables. Let's see what they're playing. Mion's table was, what? They weren't doing anything? They still not decided on a game? This naive idea existed to distract me from the most frightening possibility. Mion was lounging about, leisurely holding some juice she bought from the vending machine outside in one hand. When our eyes met, she gave me a look of ease. Couldn't be. She'd already finished? What game was it? That easily? Probably too late to be concerned with that at this point. Only 5 minutes since we started, and her 2 opponents were already beyond recourse. They're sitting there slumped over in disappointment. muttering to themselves, trying to figure out where they went wrong. For that, they'd find no answer. Was there any reason for their defeat other than they sat at the same table as Bion? And what about Rena's table? Spectators were causing quite a commotion. Looked like their game was Karuta. The shop owner was apparently the one reading out the cards. Rena tended to dawdle along and space out a lot. Did she have a hard time with this game?
Then I'll read it out.
The dog gets tired on a walk. Bwam! Same instant the shop owner began sounding out the words, the card in question disappeared off the face of the table. No, the face of the earth! Possible, where did it go? It was against Rena's cheek. She was rubbing it there.
Ah, so cute. I'm taking it home.
Looking at the card Rena was rubbing against her cheek, it was some anime-themed version of Karuta, with rather cute moe illustrations decorating the cards. Basically, it was a picture of a pretty dog girl with a slightly large chest, panting and half in tears as she was being pulled along on her chain. Those types of pictures, even I could play with godlike speed. Of all people to play that game, it had to be Rena! It's entirely possible her fingertips were on the verge of breaking the sound barrier.
It's over.
Mion smiled coolly. Seeing no further reason to keep watching, she turned back.
So cute, so cute. Even if Rena wins, I'll still buy these cards. I'm taking them home.
After that, the second card started being read out. Bam! Bam! Such decisive sounds echoed. Well then, how about Sadako? Oh, she was playing a rather orthodox game. Concentration. Judging from the distressed look on Sadako's face, it seems she was struggling somehow. One of the main characteristics of concentration is that the pace of the game speeds up as it goes on. As the number of cards to memorize decreases, it becomes easier to match several pairs in a row. It wouldn't be exaggeration to say the first person to take over the flow of the match can run away as the winner. The cards still in play had decreased. To memorize the cards that had been turned over before, you should have a good chance to sweep the table at this point. Sadako probably knew the positions of all the remaining cards. However, her turn came a little too late. If her opponent followed up, the match would be decided.
Mojo, sorry, but I'm aiming for the prize money. Don't hate me for this.
This guy, did he have the locations of the remaining cards memorized? He's completely certain of his victory. Tension on his face relaxed. It's over. I whispered that in a bored manner as I turned my attention back to my own game. I spun the wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? No way! Oh.
What? No way. The Ace of Hearts should have been here.
There was a commotion at Sadako's table as the shout rang out. The other two at my table turned around in surprise. I didn't. After all, there really wasn't anything to be surprised about. The onlookers were confounded, most of them certain the Ace of Hearts should have been there.
There's no way. I must be seeing things. It must have been because I was excited.
So assured in his victory, the distress over his defeat ran deep. Huh. That's how it is, huh? If his opponent wasn't Sadako, the Ace of Hearts certainly would have been there. What a fool. When you're up against Sadako, you can't let your guard down for a moment until the battle is over.
Huh? Oh, Keiichi-san, you still haven't finished your match. You have no sense for these things.
With a refined tone of voice reserved only for winners, Sadako called out to me. For the casual observer, it must have looked like she only eked out a victory. From my point of view, however, she was only playing around. The roles of winner and loser had already been decided. It was nothing more than child's play. The laughable part about it was that her opponent didn't know his role had already been assigned. Interesting. Already assigned their roles, huh? Nice work there, setting up a farce of a trap with the Ace of Hearts.
My opponent only walked into one of my traps. Even then, one was more than enough.
Sadako was a trapper. Her true talent was never having one misfire. Setting off only one trap was more than enough. Ain't that cool. The fact the other club members were winning one after another with their own brand of play only added to my impatience at my own lack of progress. Alright, how's Rika-chan doing? How was our club's sly little fox doing? What the heck is that? Over in that corner, the mood at the table was decidedly different from the others. The game at Rika-chan's table was... You know that battery-powered fishing game? The one where the fish open and close their mouths as they rotate on the platform and use a magnetic fishing rod to pick them up? That old thing? It seemed they plan on competing by seeing who could catch the most fish, but... become an atmosphere you could hardly call competitive.
Wow, I caught one.
You're so good, Rika-chan, you're so good at this. Oh my, she got another one. Rika-chan is really good at this. I knew that Rika-chan had already charmed her opponents along with the onlookers before the matches had even begun, but I'm Brilliantly played. That corner had become an informal meeting of the Rika Furude fan club.
It's Rika-chan's total victory. Total victory. Rika-chan's good at fishing, isn't she?
What Rika-chan's trolling for probably isn't fish. Hearing that, she glanced over my way briefly.
This is my way of getting serious.
That's what I heard.
This is a masterful technique that only Rika is allowed. Only Rika can do.
Yeah, a masterful technique.
Maebara-san, it's your turn.
Oh, sorry about that. Guess it is, huh? 1, 2, fined for tax evasion. Pay $50,000. Yeah, this sounds about right. In contrast, my game, what an unseemly situation this was. Noticing the uneasiness creeping across my face, my companions came to see how I was doing.
Keiichi-kun, could it be you're struggling? You're struggling?
Okamura, right now, how much money do you have?
Okamura, who had wrung lots of money out of the elite course, began to count through a stack of white $100,000 bills.
About 980,000, I guess. How much money do you have, Tomita? I have 880. I'm still close enough to turn this around.
Those two looked like they would easily surpass $1 million.
Well, Kei-chan, how much do you have?
Mion's tone of voice was grim from the get-go. It was her disappointment and disgust as club president. It can't be helped. There's no strategy involved other than spinning the wheel of this game. Am I supposed to cheat? Tell those two to close their eyes and count to 100 while I rig the wheel? You know there's no way I can do that. Rika-chan gently pet my head. Still, she wasn't too happy.
How pathetic. At one point, I thought you might have been a worthy adversary. I've been utterly disillusioned. You, Kei-chan, have lost the favor of the gremlin.
Don't give up, Keiichi-kun. There has to be some way to make a comeback. Do your best, right till the end.
Like I said, how am I supposed to make a comeback with this game relying entirely on luck? Right? Mion? Mion's face, however, was almost unbelievably indifferent, like she was watching something completely unexciting. She then turned her back without saying a word. Hey, me... It was a pathetic voice that irked even myself.
I'm disappointed. Everybody was serious about this, but Kei-chan was the only one who wasn't.
What do you mean by serious? Oh, so I see. So Mion gets pissed when not everyone takes it seriously, huh? I see. Telling me to control the spinner through sheer force of will? How can I do that?
If you were serious about it, you would have settled this game 10 seconds from when you started. Mi-chan, you don't have to get so angry. Wait.
Mion, in a bad mood, cast me aside and disappeared into the depths of the shop. Maybe it was because it became an awkward situation, but the spectators dispersed from around my table. Are you saying I'm not serious about this? You're saying if I were serious, I could have settled this game in a chance in 10 seconds? If I were serious, everyone was praying for my victory. They believed in me. Did I betray their expectations? Because I wasn't serious? Ugh.
Should we continue the game?
The two of them were timidly trying to resume play. I didn't respond to that. The table sunk into silence.
Maebara-kun, should I take that to mean you're giving up?
The owner, thinking I was forfeiting, started to announce the cancellation of the game. That moment, the demon inside me let loose a howl and awakened. I get it now, Mion. What it means for me to be serious. I'll show you! Bam! I clamped my hands on their shoulders, speaking in a low voice after pulling them closer. Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, let's make a deal. Let me win. The two of them, not immediately understanding what I had just said or the meaning behind it, were momentarily confused.
Hey, Maebara-san, no violence. Let's settle this game properly.
Just listen to what I have to say. What is it you guys want? The 50,000 yen prize?
Well, of course. Winning that kind of money is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Even supposing you win, what are you going to do with that money, huh? How are you going to enjoy it? The two of them considered it briefly.
Buy a new game or something? Snacks? Maybe some juice.
That's petty, so petty. You guys stupid?
Then how will you enjoy it if you win, Maebara-san?
Oh, me? That's the point. Just shut up and listen to what I have to say. We club members have a penalty game separate from the casual participants. If we lose, we have to obey a single command from the winner. From another point of view, the winner earns the prize of being able to order the other club members around. First of all, Tomito-kun. You like Sadako, right? Don't deny it. Next to Komura-kun. You like Rika, right? Don't turn red. I drew the two of them, red-faced and conscious of whether anyone else heard what I just said even closer.
Indeed.
Just running smack dab into the wall there. Lollies, moe, what men covet, what men dream about. It's like an unreachable garden of Eden. Even then you'd still aim for it, wouldn't you? It's because of our passionate souls scream for moe. That sensitive age where you couldn't say you liked the girl you liked. Understanding that gave me all the more power. Tomita-kun, if I win, I'll make Sadako wear a collar and be your little sister for a day. Psh! A red fountain spewed from both of Tomita-kun's nostrils. Also, Komura-kun, I'll put cat ears on Rika-chan and let you take her out for a walk on a leash. Psh! Blood erupted from the vein in Okumura-kun's forehead. Don't be shy now. Just pretend I forced you to go along with me. You two are simply sacrifices to Maebara-senpai's whims. You can pretend to be against it. I understand. I know everything that your hearts desire. And then I suddenly lowered the tone of my voice. My school life was very bleak. I know with my very body how foolish it is to waste such an important time in your lives. So to you, my juniors, I don't want you to live your lives like that. Be honest with yourselves. Chase your dreams. Fulfill them. I'll fulfill them for you. I will! It was in this moment the values of men bridged generations. What do you mean generations?
Maebara-san!
Did I ever have a mentor who spoke my mind for me so strongly? Never. There was no way there was. It's because in a man's lifetime he'll only have 3 fateful encounters. That valuable first time was being experienced right this moment with these 2. It's fine then? Let's do it. 1, 2, 3.
Game over.
With such an assertive declaration of the game's ending that everyone in the store turned and looked. It's been less than 3 minutes since I was on the verge of forfeit, and all the spectators were certain of my loss.
Keiichi-san! What happened? Who won?
It was my complete victory.
What did you say? Exactly how did you overcome that situation?
There's no need to explain what happened. It was a gentleman's agreement. Right, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
The two of them, stifling tears of gratitude, answered strongly from the bottom of their hearts. Exactly what kind of miracle occurred here during those 3 minutes? The spectators all looked away from to my utter disadvantage.
You did it. You did it, Keiichi-kun. Yay!
No one around to watch Keiichi work his magic. The spectators were puzzled as to how I was able to so quickly overcome that hopeless situation.
That guy, is he able to control the spinner wheel with his eyes or something?
It's a miracle!
What devilry is this?
He's in cahoots with that Mion, you know.
There's no doubt he had some strange trick up his sleeve.
He's in cahoots with that Mion.
You know, that Mion. They come in a dozen per pack.
Yeah, okay, no, not that Mion, that Mion, not that Mion, that Mion.
Exactly.
Not that. I looked at the crowd and couldn't help but be excited out of the corner of my eye. Now fully awakened and in battle mode, I let out a derisive laugh. So this is what it means for me to be serious. Mion.
Huh. You took your sweet time.
Baring our fangs at each other, we laughed together in a most ungainly fashion.
With this, all of the club members have cleared the first round then.
Which means this time, it's a match against everybody. A match.
AU where Keiichi couldn't turn around in the final match is just some rando. Hi, I'm Tomitake. No, Tomitake. His name sounded very similar, didn't it? Hello, I'm Okamura.
I've already decided what I'm going to buy with the prize money.
That's only natural. Right?
Sadako and Rena smiled, sneered at one another. These guys, they really think they can win against Keiichi Maebara when he gets serious? Mion, That was a mistake. You shouldn't have offered me advice just now.
What a mewling newborn you are. You're a million light years too early to think you can win against me.
Point of order. Light years are a measure of distance, not time. Mio, light years are a measure of distance. Oh, she's embarrassed. She's embarrassed.
What are we doing, Mi-chan? How are the five of us going to face off? How? Well now, we have such a splendid lineup. It would be a waste to rush things. Mi is saying something complicated again.
Couldn't be. Why? Oh, wait, that was Mion. Okay. Mion's hair flowed elegantly, almost like a cape as she turned her back to the table.
As for today's contest, I, Club President Mion Sonozaki, will reserve judgment for now. The method and time are yet undecided. The more spectators, the better. It should be in front of everybody from Hinamizawa and Okinomiya. By then, we'll know the best way to finally settle things.
Are you running away from this? This is too unfair, even for you, Mion-san.
You newborn, do you still not realize what has happened?
The combative aura billowing out of Mion's body formed a barrier stopping Sadako's advance.
We'll meet again. Prepare yourself for your inevitable defeat.
We'll meet again? With a shrill laugh, Mion left the store. After a moment of silence, the crowd erupted into cheers? When will they resume the contest?
Mion serious.
The other members did great too.
That new guy Maebara, he's got some strange power.
He turned the tables in an instant, man.
Maebara-san, you've gotta win.
Yeah, I'll dug someone like Mion head first into the river Styx for you. The part of the crowd had apparently overheard the covenant between Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, and myself erupted into cheer again. Mion's gonna win anyway. She's the undefeated empress. I'm betting on Mion. Oh, it's gonna be Rena with that ungodly speed. Sadako, the trap artist. Rika, the siren. Maybe a long shot, but it'll be Maebara. However, right now I had no ear for these cheerful voices. Setting the stage for this huge match and then running away like that, I wasn't going to forgive her. Outside of the store, Mion was getting on her bike as the shop owner was seeing her off. Don't run away, Mion! If you're the club president, don't run! Fight me!
Oh, sorry, Kei-chan. Right now, I've got to get to my part-time job.
Huh? Like you would see in a sketch comedy show, my legs slipped in opposite directions until I was doing the splits.
Yeah, while you were playing your game, Mi-chan received a phone call.
Me? As a cell phone, or they called her at the game store knowing she was there?
It's too bad. It was just getting good, too. Not our lucky day.
Cell phones aren't a thing. I mean, I know that cell phones were technically invented then, but, like, I don't think they're a thing that, like...
Everybody carries around.
Yeah. Because even, like, when I was a teenager, it was still very unusual to have a cell phone around at all times. And there was still some backlash against it even then, but... Anyway.
They're getting crushed at the sale over at my uncle's store. They don't have enough people to work the registers, so he called on me for help.
When you say your uncle, does he manage a supermarket or something?
It's just a small store, but... Whenever you put stuff on special, all the housewives swarm in like locusts. Don't they have any common sense?
We've heard about this uncle's store before, but we don't know what it is.
Yeah. It's kind of weird that we don't know what it is, huh?
Yeah, it's just a small store. But whenever you put stuff on special, all the housewives swarm in like locusts. We also know one of her relatives has a shop selling secondhand school clothing.
Yeah? A lot of curious businesses in the family, huh?
Yeah, a lot of things that could be fronts for laundering money for the... It's not even like that thinly veiled that the Sonozakis have some shady business going on. like Oishi straight up calls them basically Yakuza.
Even though they don't have enough staff, they're still selling a carton of eggs for 10 yen, limit 1 per customer.
That sounds like a supermarket. I was a little surprised. You would never think that this was the club president exuding such a dark aura inside the store such a short time ago. It was the usual Mion right now, almost exasperatingly so. My shoulders slumped. That's right, club mode was over now. It really was heated today. It really was fun. Damn, Mion, she really knows how to fire people up.
Me too. I got so fired up my head started to tingle. Especially Keiichi. That was scary. I thought he was gonna eat me alive there. It's work, so I guess there's nothing you can do, but it really is too bad.
I really want to continue this some other time. Anytime is good.
How about we do it at the Watanagashi festival?
So this is prior to the Watanagashi. Okay, so this is the first indication we have of when this takes place in 19... This is prior to the Watanagashi. So after Keiichi arrives, but prior to the Watanagashi. The entire first chapter took only place over a month, so that's not a long period of time there, right?
Gee, what happens if in Hinamizawa after Watanagashi ends? That's when Watanagashi begins.
Oh, delightful. Okay.
The cotton drifting 5-demon firefight. That's right. I'll think about it.
I'll think about it. Right now, what were Rika-chan and Mion talking about? Watanagashi Festival, cotton drifting 5-demon what?
I love it when things turn out all over the top and manga-like. It'd be nice if we could have another thrilling club activity like this soon.
Okay, so this is weird because they have the dynamic of a club that's been together for a while. But also, I guess by the end of that month they did have that kind of dynamic, but this is still prior to the Watanagashi. The Watanagashi happens like not at the end of that month, but kind of like in the middle-ish there.
And the club was already a thing before Keiichi was around anyway.
Yeah,
so.
but Keiichi being in this, Keiichi being a part of that dynamic. This. She laughed with a smile that made you feel refreshed just looking at it. At that moment, the shop owner came out carrying a paper bag. Wonder what it is. Is he giving it to us?
Thank you, everybody, for today. Thanks to you, the event went really well. It's not much, but here's a little something for you guys. Hey.
Oh, that is her uncle, too.
It totally is. It totally is. I wonder how many storefronts in Okonomiya aren't owned by some second cousin or twice removed
Right.
or whatever.
It's, oh my god, so many of them.
Hey, Uncle Yoshiro, isn't there a little something for me too?
My. Quite an adorable one, is it not?
When Sadako and Rika-chan opened up the bag, there were cute stuffed animals inside.
Wow, they're so cute. Can I take them home? I really can.
Which means there's something for me too. Oh, I got a pretty adorable one. It was a stuffed toy wearing a beautiful dress. One you used to play house. Rena's eyes were glued to my stuffed doll. Sadako's was the same, and Rika-chan too?
Kei-chan got the one that fits him the least.
How do I say this? I could say it's pretty or cute. Well, I guess it is cute and pretty. I can admit it's adorable, but a doll with changeable clothes is kind of...
If you walked around with it, then you'd be treated like a weirdo starting tomorrow. Definitely.
Mio didn't have to go that far. This wasn't something a guy like me should be carrying around. Mio was the only one who hadn't received a present, so I thought about giving it to her. However, after briefly considering it, I gave it to Rena instead.
Huh? You're giving it to me? To Rena? Thank you!
Just protecting myself. If I didn't give it to Rena, then walking the streets at night would be scary.
No doubt, no doubt.
Thought about giving it to Mio, but it just didn't feel right, you know?
You know it. I sometimes wonder why I wasn't born a boy.
See? More gender shit! More gender shit! Transmask Mionarch? Transmask Mionarch. Oh, it's all coming together. It's better that you're a girl. If you were a boy, I would have had killed you already.
You should kill me while you still can. If you don't, Kei-chan, you might not live to regret it.
Oh, Mion laughed after saying such an ominous line. Everyone laughed heartily along with her. Ask God to make you a boy in your next life. I'll also have to ask him to make him... I'll also have him make me a boy. Oh, that's her taunting Keiichi. Is it?
I don't know.
Then together, the two of us will start taking over the country as a warm-up.
Mion-chan, if you don't get going soon.
The shop owner told her meekly. A lot of us looked like we were having a lot of fun, so it must have been hard to put a wet blanket on things.
Later then. Today was really fun. I'll see you later, guys. Tomorrow at school.
Don't be late for work. Everyone waved their hands and watched as Mion left. Before I knew it, the sun was already setting and the breeze carried a hint of chill.
Should we play for a bit more in town, or should we go home? The road gets scary when it's dark.
Yeah, what Rika said.
Then I guess it is time to leave. We certainly caused a ruckus today, did we not?
Oh, we sure did. All right, let's go home. The wind blew gently, as if to cool down those of us flushed with enthusiasm. The ride back to Hinamizawa was long, but I didn't really mind.
Oh, that's right. Renaissance, you achieved an overwhelming victory, did you not?
When Rena gets like that, I'm sorry to say it, but there's no winning against her.
It was because the cards were so cute, see? I bought them.
Rena is absolutely the player that shows up to FNM with like inappropriate anime girl sleeves and playmat.
Yep. Oh, man. Rika was the same as usual. When it comes to boys, it's like taking candy from a baby.
It was an easy win.
How much was calculated and how much was natural? I get scared when I think about how Rika will turn out in the future.
Sadako-chan was amazing too. The way it ended was really exciting.
It wasn't the sort of game where I should be complimented.
Keiichi, you also showed your fangs at the end there.
I can't believe we're going to have that Creative Cloud update in the middle of this episode. That's so great.
But it didn't display.
It didn't display, but the sound got recorded.
Oh, shit.
Well, I guess. I'm the type of guy who's strongest when he's cornered.
Koita-san and the others seem to be cheering you on really hard. What was that about?
That sprite is so... Oh, there's so much, like, going on there. I love it. I love it so much.
He made some sort of promise with Tomita and Okamura. It's probably a secret. A secret. A secret.
Just...
I wonder what it is. I wonder.
Sometimes for a man, there are times we can only understand one another by fighting. Desperately laughing, I frantically tried to avoid the subject. After that, everyone continued to praise each other for how they defeated their opponents and reflected on how fun today was. Everyone look! The sunset is beautiful! Oh.
Everyone look! The sunset is so beautiful!
Sadako, getting even more excited, pointed, waiting where her finger indicated was an immense sunset, casting even longer shadows of us on our bikes. The cries of the Higurashi were gentle and very comforting. Aww, yeah.
How does it feel to be back in it?
I'm so glad to be back in this. I'm having a great time, even though what's going on is just absolutely crazy. Let's read that tip. Who is Mion's uncle?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, it's got they replaced these with the new images. Okay. Sorry, the changes in the R07 mod are striking.
Yep. Sorry, I suddenly got called into my part-time job at my uncle's shop today.
What's that? No club today then?
Well, I'm sorry.
This seems to happen on occasion to her.
Yeah, it sure does.
Because that happened at least once during the last arc, and I said, that seems kind of bullshit. It seems like she's backing out, but no, this does seem like a thing that does happen. But again, how are they... You know what? I say, how are they calling her? Like, I didn't spend the majority of my youth figuring out how to contact people when they don't have cell phones.
Yeah.
Cell phones really make you forget how people used to do that, right? Because you'd have to start by calling their home. That doesn't, and you talk to someone there to figure out where they've been moving to. Call where they're working or where they forward you to, and then see like, hey, are they there? Could you page them to the phone for me? That was just how it went.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm saying it like it's something that couldn't have happened, but no, even without her own, she doesn't need to own a cell phone for that to be reasonable. Okay. Mion put her hands together in apology and grinned.
If you really want to do club today, you can always do it without this old man. The club locker is stuffed full with games. You can pick whatever.
The club locker was the trans-dimensional space from which Mion pulled games whenever we met for club activities. Wondered how so many freaking games could be stored in the locker. It was even smaller than the one with the cleaning supplies in it. One of them has cleaning supplies in? Is that new? Besides those games, there was also a cornucopia of suspicious objects. Costumes? For punishment games. If we lined them all up on the floor in order to sort them, they would definitely fill the entire classroom. Yeah, we shouldn't. With the feeling if I mess around in that locker, everything inside will come tumbling down on me.
Haha. Yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe amateurs shouldn't meddle with this.
Mion gave a hearty laugh, implying the only one who could do so was the club president.
The teacher is looking for the key to the gym storehouse. Do you have any idea where it could be? Did I not return it to the teacher's lounge?
Mion said, feeling about in her pocket. Judging by her expression, she must have planned on returning it, but it was still in her pocket.
I knew you had it, Mion-san. I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that you simply must have been the one who had it.
I was right, too. Sadako and I were both right.
Giggling, Sadako and Rika-chan clapped their hands together in celebration.
You're annoying.
Slap, clap! Mion elbowed Sadako and Rika-chan in their heads, then headed for the teacher's lounge. Oh, right, have you two heard? Mion has a part-time job, and that's why she's not coming to the club.
Was that so? That's very droll of her.
Meep.
The two of them made disappointed faces. Meep, nah. Whatever anyone said, Mion's club was always the number one thing I looked forward to when going to school. It wasn't hard to agree with their melancholic expressions after hearing it would be happening today. So Mion's got a part-time job, huh? Wonder what she's doing anyway. Whenever Mion canceled club, it was usually because of her job. However, it also didn't seem like she went there every day. She would go 2 or 3 days in a row, then not go at all for a while. Sounded like a pretty damn random part-time job.
She isn't working at any one shop or anything.
She isn't? That just means she's a day laborer? Mion wearing socks and a helmet, sweating to the death in a factory. I couldn't imagine such a thing.
Mion-san helps her uncles out whenever their employees go on vacations. She's like a handyman.
Oh, I get it. Now you mention it, her having a job at her uncle's place. I think I've heard about that before.
She's like a handyman, you know, like fixes things, like a fixer.
I wasn't gonna say it.
She has a lot of uncles who run their own shops, so Mi is in very high demand.
She has a lot of uncles who own shops? A lot of them. Well, they're all part of the family, right?
Oh, you are unaware, Keiichi-san? There are many relatives of Mion-san's in Okinawa who run their own stores.
Oh, I didn't know that. They're all different kinds?
Yeah, there's a bakery, a produce market, a ramen shop, many others besides. A toy store we went to for the club the other day is one of them.
I was dumbfounded. That's amazing. Is Mion's family blessed with some kind of crazy business sense? They run so many different things, it's kind of amazing. It's like they're the only game in town.
There are others, like a loan shark, a land shark, a strip club, and a brothel.
Hold up. Land shark? Oh, like they're sharking out land, not a shark that is on the land. I thought that was more fun than it was going to be.
Yeah, me too. What I'm saying is they do lots of things.
Also, who told you about brothels? Okay, a couple of weird things came up that time, but still, I could tell it was pretty extensive. So the reason she's so fussy about returning money she lent you is because the blood of loan sharks runs through her veins, huh? Explains that.
Once I completely forgot to pay me back for money she gave me to go shopping, and she threatened me, saying that if I didn't return it all, she'd throw me into the red light district and that would be the end of me.
Rika-chan being sold into the entertainment industry to pay off her debts. Crap, my nose bleed. This is a normal thing for... fucking whatever.
Dying by being thrown on the ground must be the silliest form of death that I've ever heard of.
Never change, Sadako. Never change. Huh? She doesn't really get it, does she? Recently, she seems so unspoiled. Rika-chan and I gave her a pat on the head.
Huh? Why are you petting me? Ah!
We're petting you because you're a good girl, Satoko.
Well, okay, just don't stop.
Sadako was lost in confusion, but she seemed to understand that she was being made fun of. Okay, so Mion's got a lot of uncles.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're actually her uncle, she's got a lot of uncles. Got it.
That all need help on an irregular basis.
Right, with something. The thing is, like, if it is really a case where she's like a fixer type thing for her family, like, what service is she providing?
Yeah.
As like a school kid, right? Because my first thought was like, either my thought of like what she could actually be providing on behalf of her family is like a connection directly into the main family. Like, she can get the ear of... I mean, it doesn't make sense why she would have to help out somewhere because of that, but like calling her could be like, oh, through you, I can get the ear of the main family.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, oh, I need to call in a favor. So I'm gonna invite the main family's scion over to like do some odd jobs, get a questionable amount of money for their afternoon of work, and then bring what they heard back to the main family.
Either that, or it's just her doing the jobs. The other way that could work is that her doing the jobs is like the granted payment for something else.
Yeah.
Just like a cover for her to get that money. And she just goes because it's like, oh, if I go there, I'll be getting a obscene amount of money, and that's, my benefit for something that the family is doing. It's hard to say which way that the family giving her the benefit. I guess they wouldn't have to do it this roundabout way. I stand by my original guess that it's probably in order to get the ear of the kid in the main family, who can then be that, slip her some money, have her bring a message up, and then that can affect change in a way that you might not be able to as just one uncle among many, right?
Fair enough.
Yeah, that would be my cold read of it. We'll have to see more as it goes on, but I don't know. I'm liking this so far.
I'm glad.
Yeah, so it appears that we've gone. I'm torn on whether to start another. I don't think we'll start another thing in this episode, but I want to, for really quick before we end the episode, sidebar on like what we think is happening narrative-wise, because I don't know. After finishing Umineko, I did have some expectations for like generally how the story would be laid out, so it's not so surprising in some aspects that we are seeing. I guess either this would have to be a parallel version of events. I guess the first thing to do, is this something that happens contiguously? Is this just selected scenes we missed out from the first arc, or is this something different?
Tough to say.
Yeah, I want to say something different, because I don't think this would be the kind of thing that Keiichi would skip over. Because the one part we did skip over from his perspective was a part where they weren't around with one another for a long time. And this also seems like, oh, they have to settle it at the festival. This is the origin of the 5-demon firefight. We saw the origin of it in the first arc. That was different. So these are incompatible. So this would have to be either an alternate or a parallel narrative. So, and I don't know if it's just that we've skipped ahead a little bit past a lot of like the table setting that had to happen in chapter 1, but But it seems we've already jumped into like they're all pretty good friends at this point and have that dynamic.
Yeah.
We can skip over a lot of we need to set up the. Yeah, I mean, like for whatever else I liked about it, Chapter 1 did have a lot of. This is the first time doing all this stuff. We do have a lot of establishing things to do. Anyway, I hope you're all enjoying this. Let us know if the experience with the mod is better for you. The comment won't reach us until after we've finished recording everything, but maybe it'll be in time for help us with Chapter 3. We'll see you all next time. Bye.
Peace.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.